I also want to discuss Pogba. Ryan, you would know him personally from when he was a young player there and returning to the club. I'm sure you've watched him a lot. I'm sure you've tracked his progress and his growth. And he gets a lot of criticism, and it's usually in comparison to how he performs for his national side, which is very limited. Club football comes first in terms of the sheer scope of games. But he's often compared to what he did at Juventus, that was the best version of Pogba that we've seen at club level. But if you look at the record so far, appearances are the same. He's got a few more minutes played for Manchester United, not a huge difference, but the goals are the same. In fact, he's got more assists now, and he's created more chances. Does that surprise you? Are we being too harsh on Pogba all these years?
No, I don't think we are being too harsh because, you know, when you set the standard that he has done, both for France and Juve, and he comes to United and doesn't really live up to the expectation, then you're open for criticism. First of all, I would say I think he is a talent. He's a good lad as well. He gets a lot of criticism. I think a lot of that is maybe down to some of his comments off his agent. And just he's not been consistent since he joined United. Now we're starting to see a little bit of consistency. Ollie's been moving him around a little bit, playing off the left, last week off the right. So, and he seems to be hitting his best form. A lot like most of the United players at the moment. A lot of players have come into good form, and Paul seems to be relishing in that.
Did he? Your thoughts on Paul Pogba? Did you envision that he would be in this position now, scoring worldies, scoring winners, contributing to the side? Given what Mino Raiola has said early this season, given that it looked like he was going to be leaving the club sooner rather than later, but he stepped up.
Yeah, he did. I think United fans in a perfect scenario, I think they probably would have liked to see that a little bit earlier. He's been there, I think, a couple of years now. Obviously, the huge transfer fee may have been a burden on his shoulders. He was still a very young player when he came back to United. But I think at Juventus, he pretty much had a free role. You know, I think at Juventus, he had the freedom to do what he wanted to do. I don't think he had that freedom at United. And I think Ryan just mentioned that Solskjaer moved him around. I think Pogba is best when you give him as little defensive responsibility as possible. And this is why he played him wide on the right. That's why he played him wide on the left. A bit similar to Steven Gerrard when Benitez was in charge. He always in the big games, he tried to give him a position where he could use his pace and his power going forward. So yeah, we see I think the best of Pogba now, certainly in a Manchester United shirt. And for United fans, long may it continue, because we know he's a very outstanding player when he wants to be or when he can be. But as Ryan said, he hasn't been consistent enough. But this is the first time, I think, in ages where people around the world say, well, maybe this is a player now United thought they bought when they did buy him.
Funny you should talk about the defensive aspect of his game, because oddly enough, his stats have actually gotten better over the past few weeks as well. I don't know if this is a coincidence, Ryan, with Darren Fletcher being now heavily involved in the first team training and the setup and being there on match day. And I don't know anything about their relationship, but they would have known each other before this as well. I mean, do you think that Darren Fletcher has had a big influence on that part of Pogba's game?
Well, Fletch was certainly one of them players where he would come in and, you know, if it was Ronaldo, he would be covering for Ronaldo, doing Cristiano's defensive duty. So Fletch is used to that. But again, I think when you are out wide, you know, as I experienced, you have to track the fullback sometimes. In midfield, he definitely let his runner go quite often in games. Whereas out wide, it's a lot more sort of visual to see. You can't let a Robertson go or a Trent go. You have to track them. So I think Ollie's tried him deeper role in the 10 role, and he's sort of messed around with his role really, and he's reaping the rewards. So yeah, both his attacking play and his defensive play have become more consistent, which it needed to be. And now he's producing them goals that we all know he's capable of as well.